So you've been looking at moving to the Monmouth and Independence area, and you're wondering what are some pros and cons of living in these cities. Well, today in this video, we're going to cover 4 different pros and cons of living in the Monmouth and Independence area. These cities are right next to each other, and they often feel like one larger city, but they are separate and definitely each have their own charm. Monmouth has around 11,000 people in its population, and Independence has around 10,000 people. So all in all, between these two cities, you have around 21,000 people. Hey, I'm Tyler Thomas. I'm a realtor with eXp Realty. I went to college actually in Monmouth at Western Oregon University. I got my degree there, and I was also part of the track and field team. I love living in the area with its great activities, as well as just the overall general feel. So I can use my experiences when giving you some examples of the good and not so good parts of Monmouth and Independence. So let's go ahead and get into it. We're going to start with our first pro. And the first pro is these cities have character. And if that's something the Monmouth and Independence both definitely have, it is character. They've both definitely in the last little bit been doing a lot of upgrades, kind of refreshing things, the downtown areas, parks. They've got their own themes, which is really cool now. It's definitely improved a lot, I feel like, when I was in college in town. And especially the downtown areas of both cities, I feel like it's the best it's ever been, really. They've done a huge amount of work on the downtown shops, as well as just aesthetics, as well as new businesses coming in. With these themes, the cities really look cool. They'll also decorate a lot for holidays. Independence has definitely done a good job at this. They've updated a whole lot of stuff in their area downtown. They have a lot of events and things going on, I feel like constantly. It brings in a lot of people from outside of town also. So you're going to have a lot of people from Salem also visiting Independence for its downtown area. A cool thing in both cities is one of the main modes of transportation, which is the trolleys. I know my kids love them. It's pretty cool to just go ahead and be, walk around town, and suddenly, if you're out of town, you'll see a trolley go by, and you'll just kind of noticing them keep coming by. You think it might be just one, but no, that's how a lot of people will get around town. I feel like it really gives the city something unique that not a lot of places have. Something also pretty cool that both cities have is pretty unique is they have really good outdoor venues for concerts. Right downtown Monmouth at the park, you've got a cool little area where you're going to have concerts, as well as Independence on the waterfront. You're also going to have just a really big venue right there as well. So now on to our first con, and that is going to be overall job opportunities. Now, while Monmouth and Independence does have a growing economy, it actually has done a really good job also at upgrading things and bringing in new businesses. It might not be as robust as some of the neighboring cities. And this has mostly been geared towards some of the more specialized jobs. Now for Monmouth and Independence, a lot of your jobs are going to come from Western Oregon University, the school district, and then also the neighboring farms and the timber industry. Now something really good and something that a lot of people take advantage of is that Salem is just a 15-minute drive away. And that's going to take care of most of your issues with certain jobs in different fields. And Salem definitely has a lot to offer. You're also only about half an hour drive from Corvallis, and I know a lot of people that can make that commute as well. But as far as right in town, you might feel a little bit limited if you're not looking for the college, school district. Some people might not think it's a huge deal, but I at least want to make it aware. Our second pro is the amount of events that these cities have. And there really is a lot of events and activities that the Monmouth Independence area has to offer. And here I'll bring up just some of the bigger ones that each city has. And first off, one of the things to know about these cities is that 4th of July is really big. Independence has its 4th of July Indie Days, as well as Monmouth has its own city celebration as well. In both Monmouth and Independence downtown parks, you're going to have a lot of activities going on. A bunch of different stalls are going to be there. Especially in Independence, you're going to have a whole bunch of stuff blocked off. You can go in, essentially just a giant party. At night, you're also going to have a really good fireworks show. You're also going to have a really huge parade that goes from Monmouth to Independence. The whole city comes out. I was able to actually go to it this year, and it felt like it was just going on forever and ever, which everyone loved. Independence, another event, is the Hop and Heritage Festival. It's pretty much celebrating the area's history with hops, as in the past, Independence was actually called the hops capital of the world. You're also going to have the event, the Puddle Hopper. You're going to be celebrating the city's April weather, and so you're going to be having different storefronts are going to be decorated, activities going on. You're also going to be searching for golden umbrellas. The River's Edge Summer Series is going to be a big concert that's very popular. You're going to have a lot of musical performances in Riverview Park. Different bands are going to be performing on Friday nights. You're going to have different food trucks available, as well as your local eateries. Now, Monmouth has music in the park on Wednesdays, so you're going to have different bands performing there as well. So it's really cool because throughout summer, you're going to have on different days, both Monmouth and Independence having concerts. Also, with Monmouth being home of Western Oregon University, you're going to have all of the sporting events as well as all the performing arts events that the college has to offer. Monmouth and Independence also share a high school, being Central High School. And so you're also going to have a lot of events going through the high school, whether it's also performing arts or sports, and both cities have a lot of pride in it. Our next con is the weather. Now it's pretty much people that just don't like the rain, as it often comes up. And Oregon's weather can definitely be rainy and overcast, particularly in the winter months. And this might not appeal to everybody, especially those kind of seeking or coming from sunnier areas. And this is one of those things, it might not be a big issue for some, but for others, it might be. And this just might be a con that you're going to see for a lot of Oregon. During the winter months, when it starts to get dark around 4:35, which even I hate, it definitely feel like the days are pretty short. During the typical months of November to March, those are going to be our wettest months. So during that time, it may just feel kind of sometimes like the rain might never stop. Some years don't feel that bad, but others, you'll definitely feel it. One funny thing is we usually get that rep, and everyone knows that Oregon is always constantly rainy. But in actuality, we're number 20 in the entire US as far as states go for total rainfall. Just based upon our rep, even me living in Oregon, kind of expect us to be a lot higher. We have what's referred to as temperate rainforest-like conditions, and so we're going to be really having most of our wet weather to the west of the Cascades, as it'll block most anything getting out east. We don't get a whole lot of snow, but when we do, we get like an inch or two. Now, there is some years we actually might get more, and we are just definitely not equipped for that in any sense. Now, one thing I can remember vividly is when I was living in Monmouth, going western, it snowed like a foot and a half, which is obscene for us, and everything shut down. The city was breaking out construction trucks, kind of just pulling out every stop, and it helped a little bit, but things were still pretty bad. Kind of felt like you had caravans of college kids trying to walk out in the snow like the movie Day After Tomorrow, trying to get your groceries down at Walmart. Summer's usually pretty comfortable, going to be in the 70s and 80s. You are going to get some of those 90s, upper 90s days, and the occasional 100 days where we're just going to be roasted. And really, we're not built for that. Now, a good part of this rain is it definitely helps with our natural scenery and beauty that is all surrounding the town. Our next pro is location. Monmouth and Independence are right in the heart of Willamette Valley and all that it has to offer. You're just about an hour from the coast, as well as an hour and a half from the mountains to the east as well. There's a ton of wineries in the area, and it's something that's become very popular. Actually, the Willamette Valley has become one of the best areas in the whole world for wineries and our wine. So people will come from all over and explore these areas. Salem is just a short 15-minute drive away to the east. You're also going to have to the south Corvallis, about half an hour away. And you're also going to have the larger cities of Eugene and Portland, not too far away as well. So all surrounding you, you're going to have a bunch of different options for activities. So you have great options to go shopping, visiting, and just overall exploring. You've also got right on the edge of Independence, the Willamette River, and you're going to be able to do some fishing, kayaking, you can boat out there. Also floating is pretty popular. Our next con is shopping. Now my focus on this is really that lack of any big box stores. Now there is Buy Mart and a few things going in, but as far as like other places to get even just home goods and stuff, it's pretty lacking. So when you're looking at things like trying to find some clothing, you probably going to be heading out of town. There is starting to be more like boutique stores, mom and pop shops, but also, a lot of people can't afford that, especially kind of being in college town. And the term starts getting pretty tight. Monmouth and Independence is still kind of on the smaller side of cities, but when you combine them, I kind of would wish that there was something a little bigger, even like a Fred Meyer or something that kind of give a little bit more options for both students and just kind of the general population. Now, not having any big box stores could also be a pro for somebody in town. Now, it's kind of a pro and con for what you're actually for. I know when I was going to Woo, we would kind of have to just, for a lot of things, hop in the car and even go to like Dallas for Walmart. And the great thing is, 15 minutes away, you got Salem, so you're gonna have kind of all the shopping you need over there as well. So this might not be the biggest deal, it's only a 15-minute drive to downtown Salem, you're gonna have the mall. But if you're looking for things like right in town, it could be an issue. And Monmouth and Independence is bringing in a lot more stores. I know one area was just built up. It was just kind of vacant for years. There's a lot of new stores that went in there. So I'm hoping that it's going to continue to grow. It looks like the town is doing an extremely good job of bringing things in. So we'll kind of see what the future holds. Our next pro is it's safe. Now, Monmouth is the number 9 rated safest city in all of Oregon. Now this has a little more to do with Monmouth, but Independence is also very safe. And this is something that's come up a little bit more whenever I talk to people about Monmouth Independence. People really like knowing this, and people, if you're from kind of that Salem, even to Dallas area. People are really looking to get into the Monmouth Independence school district as well as just the general area. And when looking at the overall crime rates, you're going to have the Monmouth Independence areas be definitely under the national average. So Monmouth is actually 29% less than the US average in total crime, 51% less in violent crime, and 25% less than the national average in property crime. So based upon these ratings, as well as these SafeWise ratings, if a safer area is something that you're looking for, then you might want to consider this area. As it's looking like Monmouth and Independence, can definitely check that off your list. Now our next con, and it kind of depends on who you are, is a quiet nightlife. Now there are definitely more restaurants and I feel like activities than there are kind of in the past, but if you're looking for things to do kind of more late night, even it being a college town, you might be kind of limited. Now, funny thing is, Monmouth, not all that long ago, was actually the West Coast's last dry town. Now it's kind of funny because you could be living in Monmouth, going to College of Western, drive to Independence, get your booze, come back. Most restaurants will end up closing kind of what you consider to be early if you're looking for a later night out. In both Monmouth and Independence, there's not a whole lot of options for any sort of late night adventures, but there has been, a lot of things added recently, so it's showing hope. I did see like 1 or 2 places that are open kind of that midnight to 1 a.m. But, for both cities, that's not a whole lot. You pretty much got those or hitting up a movie. Like most things I've mentioned, you're going to have Salem not a lot far away, and they're going to have a lot more options for a late night. Now this is kind of affecting those people that want to do things right in town, but if you're willing to drive that 15-minute drive, you're going to have more options. And that's it. I hope you enjoyed this video about the Monmouth and Independence area. I think it's important to see what kind of great pros the city has, as well as some of the things that might not be so great. If you have any kind of questions about Monmouth and Independence, go ahead and reach out to me. I'd be glad to discuss these cities. My information is in the description below. Subscribe to my channel for more information on Willamette Valley and everything it has to offer. Again, my name is Tyler Thomas. I'm a realtor for eXp Realty. If you're looking to buy, sell, or invest between Salem and Eugene and everything in between, we're glad to be your resource for real estate needs.